When I moved to my new place, I was so excited that I was going to be moving close to an IKEA. I don't know if all of you guys out there are familiar with IKEA. I don't know. The slogan is IKEA, Swedish for common sense. So I'm assuming it's in Europe, but it's here in Canada. A furniture store. It's huge. It's big. It has everything that you could want. And I remember that it had some great food when I used to go there. And when I used to furnish my old place, I loved going to IKEA or picking things out or just getting ideas from being there. And so I remember being really excited about moving to near an IKEA. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be there every day, even if it's just for the food, but just to look around to get like ideas about decorating and that kind of thing. And I have not been there since I moved. I made a booking to get a ride out there yesterday, and I was excited about it until I wasn't, because I started thinking like it's going to be hard for me to walk through this big store. I remember when I used to do it's a huge store, so to even walk through like one section, yeah, it would be nice to be able to see everything in the, living room section or everything in the garden section or whatever it is, but I can't walk through places like that now. And it would take me a lot of energy and effort. And I started thinking maybe I was going to cancel my ride. And I started realizing that physically it is hard for me to move through that. But emotionally, there's a memory stuck in my body, in my emotions, in my psyche, that is also making me very hesitant to go. And that is that when my mom passed away, I mean, I didn't know she was passing away. She was in the hospital. It was very sudden. She had fallen. It was very traumatic for her face, like the way she looked. My heart was just like hurting so much seeing her like this. And when it was said that she was going to be fine and everything was going to be better, I was grateful and expecting her to be home, because that's what the doctors in the hospital told me would happen. But over time, something happened and it got worse. And I was in shock and she was in shock and she was not even like awake. And I decided to be proactive, and I started calling a friend who was like an occupational therapist to help me, like, when my mom gets home, we'll need help with this and this and this. And he was like on board with helping whatever needed to be done. And then I went out and bought her a bunch of new clothes, and then I decided on things that she would need furniture wise to make her life easier and to just give her like a new environment, even in her home that she was already in. So I had gone to IKEA, and I had completely forgotten about this, but I had gone to IKEA and bought a bunch of things. And when I got back to the hospital, I was told that my mom it was a lot worse than what we thought, and that she wasn't going to make it. And then my mom passed away. Obviously, there were a bunch of things that happened in between that, but my whole body was in shock. And I remember, I don't know how, but like days later or whatever, I ended up returning those items to IKEA. I don't remember actually when or how I did it. And the clothes. Memory is such an interesting thing. And I had forgotten about this. And when I remembered yesterday, I just couldn't get myself to go to IKEA. Physically, I was like, I can't do it. Now, emotionally, I was thinking like, I'm going to be such a wreck while I'm there, because my memory is that I went there feeling like my mom's going to be home and I would be doing all these amazing things to help her feel better, including getting new furniture. And how can I go to this furniture place now and go and say, oh, I'm going to sit and have food and I'm going to, look around for other things? Like, I just couldn't do it. And I canceled the ride. And then I just sat with myself, sort of thinking, of course, this hurts the most because my mom didn't make it. And that was the most important thing. But on top of that, the story that I've told myself for the last 10 years since she passed away is that I was so stupid because my mom needed me. I didn't need to go to IKEA to get her things. I should have been sitting at her hospital bed and making sure she had comfort and that she knew that someone was there. And why did I go off running about doing all these things for her instead of just being there for her, which is what she needed the most? And I associate IKEA and the store that I went to get her clothes from with my misjudgment. I associate it with me not being there, even not just when she was in the hospital, but why did I wait that long, that many years to, like, why did I wait till everything was really bad to put that much time and effort and to make a change to really help my mom? And that's the story that I've told myself all this time, is that I screwed up and I wasted time on unnecessary things before that. And then when she was in the hospital, I again made the wrong decision and left. I mean, she wasn't awake, but I made the decision to like go and run around and get furniture. And like, this is the story that I told myself, that it was wrong and it made things worse for my mom and I didn't help her. And the reason for my video here is that the stories that we tell ourselves really can shape our health and the way we show up in the world. And the memories that we have, we interpret them the way we see them according to what we believe happened, or what we believe about ourselves, or what we believe about the universe and life. I mean, I could have kept a memory that I tried to do something really sweet and caring for my mom, that I tried to be positive. Like, the story that I could have told myself is that I was trying to be really positive, to do something really nice for my mom, and I had hope and I wanted her to get better, and I was going to commit to making sure that I was there for her to do that. But instead, the story I told myself was that I screwed up and now IKEA is connected for me to this really horrible memory and shame about myself. I've been talking a lot about memories in my videos lately. And I've been learning that there is the huge organ, sensory organ in our bodies that holds our memories. It's called fascia. Fascia is like this cobwebby type fibrous fluid structure in our bodies that covers every part of our body. And thanks to the amazing practitioner Masami Kove, I've been learning that in particular fascia holds our memories. Our memories of all our experiences, everything that we've done up till now is held in our fascia. Even our subconscious memories, like the memories that we don't admit to, or our secrets, the fascia holds that. We wouldn't even have memories if we didn't have fascia. We wouldn't even be here because the fascia holds the organs, like it covers the organs and the systems, the digestive system, the circulatory system. It helps them communicate with each other. And it holds our memories of what has happened and how we've interpreted what has happened. So when we have memories that are really hopeful and happy and fun, the fascia is holding that, and the fascia can feed off of it because we're, moving and enjoying life, and we're fluid, like flowing. But when the memory is traumatic and when it is painful to us emotionally, that can make us stuck in our lives and stuck in our bodies and stuck in, like, the fascia can actually become stuck and sticky. And then that can affect the way that we literally move in our lives. And Masami is such an amazing practitioner because she talks about how fascia and the bones are really related, because the fascia, she says, I love it when she says this, the fascia holds the memories and the bones hold our stories. So the stories that we tell, the story that I told myself for all these years, that I was such a bad daughter, I was so not compassionate because I did not do the right thing for my mom when she was in the hospital. I took off and went and bought clothes and furniture for her instead of staying with her when she needed someone to assure her that everything was going to be okay, and that even before then I wasn't doing the right things. That story that I've told myself has actually shaped not just the way that I think and feel, but how my body shows up in this world, because the stories that we tell ourselves actually are held in our bones, and they can actually shape our bones. They can make our bones more porous and let things in that we don't want to let in, or it can strengthen our bones so that we can move forward and be like purposeful and go after what we want. But when the stories that we tell ourselves are holding us back, it can actually shape the way our bones form or don't form properly. And the bones and the fascia are related because the fascia is around all the different parts of our body. It's in our bodies, on, like, from head to toe. It holds the memories that shape our stories. So the memory that I have of IKEA and my mom and the hospital and all of that has shaped the story that I tell myself. And that story has now been stuck in my body so that it makes me rigid and fearful and shameful and not able to move through my life and flow. I find this really interesting because I was talking in my last video about muscle memory, which is actually not really in the muscle, but it's like you practice something and myelin and electric circuits and nerve fibers get wrapped by myelin, and it looks like it's coming from our muscles, but it's actually not in our muscles. It's the electrical circuits that are running through our body, and that's what helps us build on remembering how to do something. But this is a different kind of remembering. This remembering that is through fascia and the storytelling of our bones is the remembering of everything that we've experienced in our lives. How we remember it, how we interpreted it. And when I think about how, yes, when there's trauma or when there's something negative, that can actually make us get, brittle bones, osteoporosis, that can make us have trouble dancing or moving or living our lives the way we want to. But knowing that there's fascia that holds everything together and bones that protect our organs, and the bones and the fascia work together, and the bones hold the stories, and the fascia holds the memories, means that we can actually ask our bones, which is what Masami got us to do, ask our bones to tell us their story. So that if we need to retell the story, if we need to reteach ourselves what we've been telling ourselves that might not actually be true or might not be helpful, we can do that. We can heal ourselves by revisiting the memory and looking at our bones, looking at our bone health, looking at our fascia health, like making sure we're hydrated, because fascia is it's fluid, it's fibrous, making sure that we are taking care of like the memory that is stuck in our system. We might need to do something to help that. Massage or rolfing or hands-on work can actually stimulate the fascia so that we can get the memory out and moving. But I believe that dance is a huge part, movement itself, because fascia is moving. It's even bones move. Like bones move. They change. I think it's 7 to 10 years. We can get new bones every 7 to 10 years. It's living tissue. And so when we do things that involve movement, we actually help our bones move. We help our fascia continue to move and be fluid, but we also help our memories move out from us by telling our story in a different way, by reminding us that maybe the story that we've been telling ourselves is stuck in a certain way that isn't actually really true about ourselves. And if we can retell it, and if we can reevaluate it and tell ourselves a story that's different, we could help our bones. We can help our physical and emotional body, and we can help our ability to go into life and be more purposeful and be more confident. And I just think memory is such a powerful thing. And we don't realize how many other things influence our memories. And if we know that something in our body, the fascia is holding our memories, And we can work on our bodies to change that. If we're not keeping the fascia healthy, we can change that so that our body can feel how we are actually helping it move forward, and how we are helping it to heal, and we are helping it to retell a story that is more suitable for us to be able to move forward. So I've decided that I'm going to book another trip to IKEA. I'm not forcing myself to do it. I'm going to do it so that I can go to a place that has a negative story being held in my body because of it, a negative memory, and I'm going to change that memory. I'm going to change it so that my body, my emotions, my psyche can hold a more powerful, more purposeful memory that tells a different story about who I am, who I was, and who I am as a daughter, and